What's up, guys? We're gonna build beats. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make an underground trap type beat. If you guys haven't subbed already, I'll turn post or something. You should do so because it'll sub it a lot. Let's hop right into it. So the BPM that you kind of want to go for is 150. You can kind of go lower, higher, it's up to you. And we can go ahead and get started. I'm using stock plugins today, and I'll go over them as we go through the sounds. So this should be pretty easy. We do not need a scale for this, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the melody. So the first sound that you need to really get the core sound is just any Rhodes sound, right? So that's why I'm using stock plugins. I don't want people to think, oh, there's a secret preset. It's literally just Rhodes. So let's just start there. And with this, all you really need to do is just know how to make a major seventh. All right. So if you don't know how to make it from scratch, pretty much you can start on a note and then skip 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and then place. And then skip 2 spaces, 1, 2, and place. And then to make it a seventh, you pretty much just skip 3 spaces again. Or you could just be lazy and go to stamps and go to major seventh and you get the same thing. All right, so you should have 2 same chords here. So with this one, what you want to do is hold shift or just go down 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this will give you the core sound that you need, or at least a basic foundation to start a melody with this. And this is all you need. And you can add notes, take notes away, it's up to you. But let's just copy this over. And all right, so that is good. And let's move on to our next instrument. All right, so now if you wanted to, you could literally stop here and just add the drums. Like, these beats aren't that difficult. They just have, a lot of processing, but for this, we can just take this, paste it, and then this is the sound I'm using. And then we could just kind of make these do like a stab. Just to add a little bit more layering, right? So those are the strings, and let's move on to our second. I think this is a Rhodes too. All right, so now we're gonna start our counter melody, and this is the sound we're using. All right, just something to contrast the other one. Now you can build this counter into your original, right? If you just want it to be all on one. But I just want to separate it so that it's a little bit more simple and you can kind of see what components you need to get the core sound. So let's go here. And really you can do this without a scale, right? You could just use your ears, right? Because this is your range here, right? These notes are given. So all you got to do now is just choose notes in between those that you think sounds good. So we can start up here. And we can just start on some of these notes, and let's try. And if we pretty much make a chord from this note, so if we were to skip 1, 2, 3 and place, we have something that's in harmony. Okay, so that's one way you can do it. Another way is literally, and let me make this a little bit larger. Literally just kind of strumming up, and then you would take some of these notes and pull it up an octave. Now, what notes is up to you. So we could do something like this. Let's start here. And let's take this, pull it up like that, and then you can kind of go down. So if we were to go down, try something like this, right? Because this note is here, right? And then just adjust the notes. Right, you can choose any notes you need. Right, and that's just something else you can do, right? So I like this one the most, so I'm gonna just repeat this one. Okay, pull this up or down an octave. I kind of like it high anyway. So that is the counter. Okay, hopefully that was simple enough, and we can kind of finish it off with like these bells. All right, now we're gonna do our bells, but before we do that, I do want to change this up. So I deleted this note, okay, and then simply what you can do is you can either try to make a minor or a major out of it. Now I think the major will work, but basically if you want to do a minor, you skip 2 notes and then place. And then for a major, you just skip 3 notes, 1, 2, 3, and place. And this is so we can have, so it's not too repetitive, you know. Just so it's something different, all right? Because I didn't want to make this like too annoying. So let's go to our bells, and this is the bell, just analog bell. And this we don't got to do a lot. If you want to make this like an ARP like thing, you can, but really just placing the note is just fine. Right, it just adds a little bit more atmosphere to it. All right, so that is the melody. Again, you can process this as hard as you want to, but I am not doing that. I'm gonna leave it bare bones, because I don't want people to think they need a bunch of crazy plugins and stuff for this stuff. So I think this is good enough. And let's go ahead with the drums. Okay, so for our 808, this can be easy if you want it to be. So just take this, right, this B and the low notes, right, and I'm gonna just pull these up for now to explain something. So if you want bounce, you only want to really go on the grid near the next two, or the start of the next two bars. So these are the first two bars, and everything in between here you want to kind of offset like this. You don't want to really put it on the grid. Now there are cases where you can put it here, but you kind of got to know what you're doing in order to make it work. But just in these little spots here are great spots for the 808. Okay, so let's pull this back down, and then let's shift this over like that. We just copy this over, and then I'm gonna pull this up an octave, okay, from here to here, just so it's not too low. And then this is very basic. So what we can do to kind of fix this up is you can copy this and put it in one of those spots, and we can pull it up an octave, right? Just so it doesn't sound like it's the same note every time. And then from here you can kind of add what you want. So we can just do something like this. All right. Okay, so that's the 808, and let's move on to just the drums, which should be pretty easy. All right, so now we're gonna do the drums, and this should be the easiest type of drums because you don't really have to try with this. So for the hi-hat, fill each 2 steps, or actually let's do fill each 4 steps. Go to the piano roll, and then you want to hold shift, click and drag, and then you want to pull the velocity down a bit, and this is going to create a little bit of bounce. Okay, and then from here you can kind of add in, if we go to 1/4, you can kind of add in a little another. All right, something like that, and let's just copy that over. We don't have to do anything extravagant. We can just be basic with this. Okay, now we can just add in a little triangle, a little perk. The sound doesn't really matter too much. We can just add these claps in. Let's do a little. Let's turn this one down, see what that sounds like. Okay, so now we can add in this little snare sound, and then placing it like right here. This is like a common pattern for this style. All right, a little bit of bounce, and then just do something like that. Just copy it over. And let's try turning this one down. I'm gonna leave that one blank. Something like that, right? So that's very simple for the drums. If you want to add a little bit of swing, you can. So now let's just play the whole thing, right? And now you have like a little underground trap beat, right? And then you don't need all these sounds. Like really, honestly, if you want to, you could just leave the chords and then just choose like a better sound or whatever. All right, and And that's gonna be it for this video. So hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully it was helpful. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.